What's up, guys? Back again, another episode of Sammy Merce's Husbands. Um, we'll go through the agenda. Today, we'll talk about This Day in History, An Athlete by Tyler, talking a little bit about life, basketball, the 2024 election updates, random questions, pet peeves, and closing comments. So, pretty much your standard episode. But so, this day in history, 1899, Ernest Hemingway was born. I guess a pretty significant figure. Obviously not alive anymore. 1951, Robin Williams was born. You have a favorite Robin Williams movie?
Ooh, put me on the spot.
No,
Uh, I'm gonna go against the comedy movies. Good Will Hunting's a great movie.
that is a good movie. I haven't seen that in a long time. Um, there's one movie that I'm thinking about that I can't really remember. Night at the Museum's always a good movie. He's in that. No, that's Ben Stiller.
No,
Um,
he is in that movie as Teddy Roosevelt.
yeah, old Teddy. Old Teddy. Okay. But Jumanji, obviously, the OG Jumanji.
Ooh, yeah, I'm changing my answer.
That,
Jumanji.
that's a good movie.
That's a
Um,
great movie.
I I I like that one way better than the new one with like The Rock and Kevin Hart.
Yeah, the first new one was okay. The second one was, pretty mid.
Pretty mid, and I just think, you know, the OG one is just they're never gonna beat that one. It was funny. Like I enjoyed The Rock and Kevin Hart in there. Um, but Robin Williams one was just elite.
That's kind of
Um,
the with these movies that get remade or like rebooted. It's really tough to compete with the original.
yeah, because the remake, you always remake a movie that is just like amazing. There's not like movies that are bad that you're gonna remake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's hard to top. But also, 2007 final Harry Potter book released, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. If that doesn't make you feel old, that was released in 2007, then not
I
much will.
I know we've been talking about reading a little bit, and I actually did read that book when it came out. I remember reading that. That was the only book of that series that I read, and I remember it being like a big achievement for me when I was like 12, 13.
Yeah, those books are long, man. I think I read like the first two books, probably like fourth grade or something. Did you ever do like AR reading lists? Was that a thing when you were in elementary school?
No.
We had like AR reading lists, which I think is like accelerated reader program. And you have to like read books and then take a test online and like it would make your reading level go up. So that North Carolina public education system doing its work.
And we're still finishing 48th.
Yep. So but yeah, I remember those being like big points. Like if you got that one and you did well in the test, like it would bump your reading level up a lot. And then nobody wanted to be the dumb kid with the same reading level of the grade that they're in. You know what I mean?
How high did yours get?
Oh, dude, I couldn't tell you. Not nearly as high as like a lot of the other people, just because I wasn't as on top of reading the books and taking the test. You know what I mean? Um,
Right.
I'm pretty sure my mom helped me cheat a couple times doing Cliff Notes. I didn't know Cliff Notes were a thing.
I'm calling the police.
You should. You should. But hey, look where it got me. But yeah, so that's this day in history. Moving on to athlete segment. So we'll do it the same way. You got an athlete in your head. If I guess it without any hints, then you know the deal. You got a shotgun a beer. So a little bit of the honor system. All right. So you ready for my guess? You got one in your head?
Yeah.
All right. Franco Harris.
Oh, interesting choice is not him.
Okay. I was just I was winging it. For some reason, that was the first person that popped in my head. So I was thinking maybe we're on the same wavelength.
The Immaculate Reception.
Hell yeah.
That is not him.
Okay. So it is a man.
Yeah, I gave that away. It is a man.
Okay, so some questions. Let's see. Traditional sports, baseball, football, basketball.
Yes.
All right, let's go baseball.
Yes.
White,
No.
black dude, or Hispanic?
Hispanic.
Hispanic. Outfield or infield?
Infield.
Oof. Is infield include catcher and pitcher?
It does.
Okay. Is he a position player or is he like a catcher or pitcher?
He's a position player.
Okay. Left side of the infield or right side of the infield?
Left side.
Oh, so he's either shortstop or third base. Okay. Is he primarily known for hitting or fielding?
Um,
Kind of both.
kind of both. He has a silver slugger and a batting title though.
Okay. Oof, put me on the spot. All right. Still active player?
No.
Okay. Retired recently?
Last year in the league was 2018.
Okay. So he's not in the Hall of Fame, right?
Nope. Eligible though.
Okay. American League or National League primarily?
National League every year of his career except for 3. Played 15 years.
Okay. Um, are we talking East Coast, West Coast, or in the Central?
And NL East for all of it.
NL East is like Mets. Oh, man, I don't know fucking conferences of teams.
Mets, Braves, Phillies, Marlins.
Is he shortstop?
Yep.
Um, is his first name Jose?
Yes.
What's that dude's name? Shortstop for the Mets, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Fuck, it's not Ramirez. I know. Fuck, what is his name?
Come on, dude.
Um, I know who it is.
Yeah, I know you do, and you're on the right track with the last name.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's Hispanic, so I mean, I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but how many different last names could it be?
Probably hundreds, but we're probably hundreds of them. I was saying it's the same letter, first letter as Ramirez.
Okay. Jose Rodriguez Ramirez.
Jesus Christ.
Is it Rodriguez? No.
No, it's
No.
not.
What is that dude's name?
This is a sports podcast, so you got to pull this one out. Don't Google shit.
I'm not. Say just
People
yeah, I know who it is.
people listening are screaming at their
Yeah, I know. It's it's Jose Reyes. Jose Reyes, that's who it is.
yeah.
God dang it, that took so long.
Yes. You dude is right there on the tip of your tongue.
Jose Reyes, man. Dude, he was a phenom when he first came in.
He was awesome those first like 6, 7 years of his career.
Where did he end up going after, like the Marlins or something like that?
Yeah, 2003 to 2011, he was with the Mets. 1 year in Miami, 2.5 years in Toronto, year and a half or half a year in Colorado, and then he finished his career 3 years with the Mets.
Yeah. Yeah, I just remember him being like the dude coming up. He was going to be the next big thing. And like he was a big thing, but I don't think he ever reached his full potential.
No, he's only a 4-time All-Star.
Yeah.
Um, he led the league in hits 1 year, led the league in batting average 1 year, led the league in triples 4 years, stolen bases 3 years.
About to say I knew stolen bases was going to be up there.
Yeah, 3 years back to back, 60, 64, 78, which is good numbers. And then you think about a guy like Ricky Henderson, and it's insane how many that dude fucking had.
Yeah, truthfully, I don't think that record will ever be touched.
Even with them making the bag bigger, no one will ever come close to that.
No. I think catchers are just too good, is what it is, and the pitchers are throwing too hard, and they've adjusted with their slide steps and stuff like that. It's just the game has evolved. I like that they make the bag bigger. I think that's a good thing because people like seeing stolen bases. They like seeing infield hits. So even if we could just get a little bit more of that stuff, I think it'll make the game a little bit more fast paced and high scoring and fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree. I don't love the pitch clock, but I do like the bigger bag.
Yeah, I don't love the pitch clock. I understand their thinking behind it, speed the game up a little bit in terms of watching. But it's even when I was watching the College World Series, like so many times they would call a ball because the pitcher's just not even paying attention to the pitch clock. Um, and then I do think it's causing some injuries, having to throw that many pitches that close back to back to back, and they're throwing unbelievably hard right now.
Yeah, I mean the velocity that these guys throw at, and then you're putting what 20 seconds on them, 30 seconds on them.
Yeah, it's just not enough recovery time. Um, I'll tell you what, who's really up and coming, Paul Skeens, that dude from LSU that plays he's a pitcher for the Pirates. He got called up at the beginning of this season, like not really the beginning, but he got called up. He really only has like 10 starts or something like that, and he looks unhittable, dude.
It's I don't even know if you can call him up and coming. He started the All-Star game and you know what I mean? I've never seen such like a meteoric rise. Obviously, you knew he was going to be good coming out of LSU, but usually guys hang around in the minors 2, 3 years.
Right. And just like his pitches, so his fastball's, touching like 102 sometimes. And then he throws this like high 80s slider that looks exactly like his fastball. And then it'll just break off the last second, especially for like a left-handed hitter. It looks like a fastball is about to be like 8 inches out of the zone. And then all of a sudden the slider just pops right in on the outside corner. And like it's really unhittable. Because then they come and they think they're getting the slider and they chase a fastball that's, a foot off the plate. You really just got to guess.
I I would shit myself up there if a guy threw something 102 and then came with some off speed that looked just like it. I'd probably like flinch and then the ball would just slowly. I mean,
Yeah.
if your off speed stuff is in the 80s though, I can't hit 80 like your good stuff. So
Yeah, I will stand. I'll die on the ledge that hitting is the hardest thing in sports, I think.
yeah, yeah, I would say so. I don't think baseball players are the best athletes by any stretch of the imagination, but their reaction time is insane to be able to do that.
I would give it to you that they're not the best athletes, but I'd say baseball players are usually the most well-rounded. I think their hand-eye coordination usually translates to where they can play other sports very well.
Just thinking back on guys we went to school with, a lot of guys did baseball, football.
Hmm.
And that seems like a more natural you switch than I don't really know many baseball, basketball guys other than you.
Yeah, not tons, but I think if you put somebody, their primary sport is baseball or their primary sport is football, and you just kind of put those two people on a basketball court, I think the dude that plays baseball is going to be able to handle the ball a little bit better, um, have a more aesthetically pleasing jump shot, and then just be like more coordinated with, putting the ball off the glass and like just doing the things that they want to do. Whereas a football player might be more athletic, where they can jump higher, run faster. But in terms of like the ball skills, I don't think they have the same. I don't, I think a baseball player is typically more coordinated.
Interesting.
Or if you put a baseball player on a tennis court,
Bad.
probably gonna, I don't know. I mean, given it would take some adjustment because they'd be trying to hit the thing like crazy, but I think their hand-eye coordination is there a lot more.
See, I think the same thing with basketball and tennis players because the footwork is the same.
That is fair as well. But the natural swinging motion, right, getting your feet planted, your hips involved is there for baseball. It's a big translation to golf as well, except you really have to. The swing is a little different. You have to figure out the swing. But once you figure it out, I mean, they have good hand-eye coordination.
I'm with that.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about life recently. What's been happening this week and this weekend?
Well, I've officially committed to running another half marathon. And people have listened to that episode, so there's no backing out now. Corey said something to me about it, so it's in. I've made the same mistake I made the first time I talked about it, and now I got to do it.
And you got to beat your time, which is big.
It is.
Or you're gonna owe me money.
I'm not as concerned about that.
Or you're gonna owe me money because I'm gonna beat my time.
Yeah, I'm not as concerned about beating my time because this course will be a flatter course.
That is true. That is big truths.
But I got to start training, so I'm starting to train tomorrow. So sick.
All right, we'll revisit that on the midweek pod and see if you actually do it.
I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice.
You always have a choice.
Men's basketball league is starting up soon. Our team is thin. We've got 5 guys right now. Jake is not playing.
He's dad.
He's dad, and he hurt his knee playing like 2-hand touch football or something.
Classic.
So I gotta try and figure it out.
You got to get that recruiting hat on, man.
I got a guy I'm thinking about. And then it's tough because when you don't play with people, they're going to want to just come out there and do their thing. When the thing that we need to be doing is just putting the fucking ball in my hands and me scoring 30 points a game.
I think that's the thing that you want to be doing, but that's also the thing that they want to be doing. So really, are you any better than they are? I'm not talking about skill wise. I'm talking about mindset wise.
I was going to say literally, yes. Yes, I am. And mentally, yes, I am, because I know the exact player that I am and they don't know the player they are.
Yeah, I have I'm on a Facebook page. It's like Wilmington, North Carolina pickup, and it's really useless. Nobody actually talks about good pickup that happens. I joined the page when I was coming into town, and some of those times were like, it was like a weird days that I was in town and you guys were working and I wanted to go play pickup. So I was just hoping that there'd be something on there. Really nothing good, but I saw a post come through the other day where it was somebody saying like, hey, getting a team together in the Carolina Beach Men's League, looking for some people to join the team. And the people's comments are funny. They'll like literally comment and be like, yeah, I played D1 basketball, and then I'll click on the profile picture to like see who they are. I'm like, no, you didn't. Like, why would you say that?
Was the kid's name who posted it Alex?
No, it was actually a girl that posted it.
I know who that is.
Yeah. So
She played in the league last year, and they put her on me for some reason, and I scored 34 points, and they'd never switched. So I was like, okay, well.
Yeah, she said it was her, and she already has another girl on her team. So she's like Preferably, we don't get any more girls.
Yeah, they're gonna get fucking destroyed.
Yeah, but you never know, man. But what else? What'd you do this weekend?
Um, I worked Saturday at 5 a.m. to 3, which was yesterday. Or 5 a.m. to 2. Got off work, took a shower. Then it was Reagan's first birthday party. So we went over there. Everybody was over there. And they had 2 ponies at the party
Where was it?
at Denise's house.
I guess she does have a decent sized backyard. I think I've only really seen it at nighttime, so I've never really been able to see.
Yeah, it's not as big as you think, but it was big enough for 2 ponies.
Did you ride a pony?
50-pound weight limit.
Yeah, you're not hitting that one.
So my butt cheeks don't weigh that much. But you got to feed them. They gave you carrots, or we had carrots to feed them, but they were also just eating the grass in the backyard. And all the little kids rode the ponies or whatever, and I'm sitting there talking to somebody. I'm up on the deck far away, and I'm not even thinking, and I get a whiff of something, and in my head I'm like, oh, that smells like horse shit. And I look down there, and one of the ponies took a 10-pound shit in the backyard, and the lady there, you know how you pick up cat poop or dog shit with a plastic bag?
Yeah.
She had to do it with a full garbage bag. It was pretty foul.
Those motherfuckers are healthy.
Then we actually went out to Wes wanted us to go out with him, so we went and hung out at his house for a little while. Me, Chris, Drew, Corey, and we left, and Chris went home. Then we went to Sea Witch, and we saw Manny there. You remember Manny from UNCW?
Yeah.
And he was talking to me, and he was like, "Are you the one that does a podcast with Trey?" I was like, "Yeah, we got fans out here." And he said, "No, no, 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 no." He hasn't listened to it yet, but he said he was going to listen.
Yeah, he
He's
hit me up and said he was gonna listen. Man, he's a good dude.
Yeah, he's funny. I ended up running into him later in the night, bought him a shot. He's a funny guy. Him and oh my God, what was his friend's name? I remember him from UNCW too. Fuck. Terry, maybe?
I think I know who you're talking about, like shorter dude.
Or dude, beard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it, man, I don't want to say it's wrong, but I think it might be Terry or
I was
Terrence. I
talking,
think it's
I was talking
Terrence.
to Terrence. It's Terrence.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I was talking to him for a little while, and but I was 5 sheets to the wind at that point, bro. I was fucked up last night. And everybody was obviously, a little somber, but Wes wanted to go out, so we went out with him. And ran into Harris, uh, Justin, Brandon, and Trombetta. Then we did shots with them. Did shots with Manny, Fallon Mintz, Courtney Davenport. At this point, the world is like starting to close in on me. And before that, we saw that guy who sent that message,
Ah,
and me and Drew were closing out. So we're walking down the boardwalk, and he's talking to Wes. And Corey left because Corey was ignoring him, and we didn't talk to him either. I didn't hear anything they talked about. Wes told me what they talked about. Basically, like him apologizing and Wes saying, "Yeah, sure, bud, sure. Yeah, we're good, sure." And if I didn't know him, he would be kind of an intimidating guy. 'Cause he is fucking huge.
I still don't know who it is. You haven't told me who it is.
Asian.
Oh, that dude. Oh, I was thinking TikTok comment guy.
Oh, I would have whipped that guy's ass. Whoever that
Uh,
guy is.
interesting. Interesting that that interaction happened. I'm still hoping for the pay-per-view.
Wes handled it very maturely. I will say that.
Yeah, I think Wes definitely has some maturity that the other dude does not have.
That other guy uh, couldn't hold Wes's jockstrap figuratively or literally.
Yeah, he would drop it because he's too uncoordinated.
He's playing in the men's basketball league too.
That's gonna be fun. I'm sure
It's gonna be.
it's his usual crew.
I don't know, but it'll be fun when I score 50 against him and don't say a word the whole time.
Yeah, it'd be like that. I'm sure you'll have something to say.
No, I'm very calm.
Yeah, that is a word that really describes you as calm.
I'm very calm. We got to the dive, and I was so pissed off from the moment that I saw that person to the moment we got to the dive. Allie was like, "What's wrong with you? You have this scowl on your face." I was like, "I don't know, just mad." And we leave. We wait for an hour for an Uber. Corey throws up per the usual. He throws up right as the Uber's pulling up. He's throwing up in the street. I'm like, "You good, bro? You good?" He's fine. We get in the Uber. Corey's like nodding off, basically. Me and Drew have started to sober up, and Wes is in the front, like rapping, and you know, like not doing the curse words. And me and Drew are just dying in the back seat, like making fun of him. It was great, honestly. It was a good night. It was needed.
That's fun. I'm sad I missed that. Love a good CV night, especially with everybody. When everybody shows up, it's a good time.
I feel bad for Corey. He's got to drive back today. He's probably already back there.
Oof. Yeah,
Then turn right around and come back on Monday.
yeah, yeah. But I hear you. So this week for me, our students are in history. So like it's a tough couple weeks on them, but for us it kind of gives us like some free time. So really their history classes are nuts. It's like basically a semester full of history that they do in like 2 weeks. So it's really tolling. Um, but overall good week for me. Kind of get a nice break, get to kind of plan the rest of the class, all that stuff.
Tolling?
Um, hmm?
You say tolling? What's that mean?
Like takes a toll.
Oh, that's not a word.
Oh, I mean, whatever. Um,
Taxing is what you're looking for. Tax.
taxing, tolling, same deal. I mean, does it mean the same thing?
I don't know anymore, buddy. Nothing really matters anymore. I'm sorry I even interrupted you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's a word and a phrase that is used. But whatever. Now you'll start to use it in your daily lingo. But this
It'll be
weekend,
it'll be part of my Ganter.
it'll be part of your canter, exactly. Um, this weekend, I worked yesterday. We had them do an obstacle course, and then today I went and played pickup, which was a good time. Played pretty well, but it was like the second time I've played in like a couple months. So you know how like that second time is always kind of feels like you've never touched basketball before in your life. Played
Yeah, the
one
first
game. Yeah, yeah. The first game I played didn't really do much. Didn't I had kind of a crappy team. Um, we lost, and then I got picked up on the next team, which they had some good players, and I hit like four threes that game. Really just jumper felt good. And then after that, I don't think I made a three the rest of the day. But overall, I didn't play too bad. Then came home, we went to the grocery store. I made some fresh pico with or ingredients from my garden. So made some pico with everything that I grew, which is kind of rewarding. This is like the first time I've got to do that. Um, we've also had like some squash that we've made, but my garden's kind of booming, dude. It's coming alive. I mean, even for as hot as it is, I didn't think it was going to do that well, but we're getting some produce.
It's really very satisfying when you can grow something and eat it.
No, it really is. I mean, I haven't actually tasted the pico yet because I like to make it and then let it sit in the fridge so it gets really juicy. Um, but I mean, it looks like it's going to taste good.
You like the juice?
I like it a juice.
Um, the that's a good skill to have because I think self-sustainability is going to become really important in like the next 20 years with especially with prices of shit.
Yeah, and also just being like kind of self-sufficient is a cool thing. Like I'm obviously never gonna have like chickens and cows in my backyard that I butcher and eat the meat,
Don't say
but like
never.
most likely not. Um, Sammy would she would be too close to them and give them all names and we wouldn't be able to kill them. Um, but uh but if I could just like grow like beans and veggies and stuff, like because that's a lot of the stuff we buy in cans and like fresh produce from the grocery store. And like if you don't have to buy that stuff, you know exactly where it's coming from. Like I had to buy one extra tomato because I only had three tomatoes um, that were ready to be picked. So I had my three and I bought one more. And just the difference of like how red they are in the middle. I think because there's no like additives or whatever, it's like a fresh thing that I just grew from a seed and was able to pick. So like just you can just see the freshness. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and yours don't have any of the antibiotics or steroids or whatever they're putting in the store made shit to make them last longer on the shelves.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I don't know. I mean, all in all, it's just healthier. So that's pretty cool. I was pretty pumped I was able to get to do that. My Xbox is getting delivered tomorrow. So really wanted to have that earlier in the week so I could have played it this weekend. Me and GameStop had a pretty uh, intense conversation. This Indian man did not understand the significance of me needing my Xbox. But I was
Give
pissed.
me my fucking Xbox, bro.
Yeah, I was pissed because like, when I ordered it, it said like processing. Um, usually takes 24 hours. Shipping information will be given after 24 hours. So I was like, okay, cool. It'll ship like on Tuesday because I bought it like over the weekend, last weekend. And I figured, yeah, okay, they'll process it on Monday and then get it out for shipment. I should get it by the weekend. But they really didn't process it until like Friday. And obviously it's not gonna freaking get delivered on Sunday. So it's getting delivered tomorrow. But I called, I was like, dude, can I just cancel this? Like I'll just buy it off Amazon or somebody that I know can ship it to me within 3 days, which I should have just done in the first place, but whatever, you live and you learn. But he's like, no, unfortunately, we're too far along in the process. It'll have to get delivered to you and then you can return it and get refunded. And I was like, that just sounds like a nightmare. So I'm not gonna do that. So I'll get it tomorrow and then I'll come home. I'll get the game downloaded and all that good stuff and probably just be freaking winning national championships all next week.
Yeah, another thing about deliveries to where you live, it's basically a sundown town and you know, you just it's dangerous for a lot of people to deliver out to you.
How is it dangerous?
You know what a sundown town is, bro?
Not necessarily. I mean, I have an idea of like, when the sun goes down, it gets violent or whatever.
Yes, but it's people who are not white can't be there after sundown.
That is not true. Jesus Christ.
What your town is. That's what I thought when I went there. If I couldn't stay in your house, I felt scared.
That is ridiculous. I live in a freaking cul-de-sac.
That's what you want the listeners to think. I know where you live. I've been.
Honestly, per capita, we have way more black people than white people in the area that I live.
Doesn't change what I said.
I live in southeastern Alabama, dude.
It be your own people.
It do. It do. Why don't you say what that phrase usually is said with?
I'll have to call in the specialist for that one. Old JB.
Yeah, true, true. Yeah, but that's basically what I've been doing. I'm still undecided if I'm gonna go into Dynasty or Road to Glory from the jump. Um, I think creating a player and doing Road to Glory could be fun, but all in all, that stuff kind of gets boring after a while. I think doing the Dynasty might be ultimately a better game mode.
I saw something and it was he was playing as uh Jackson State, the HBCU, and he said, and it was just a picture of his shattered controller. Like when you've spent all year recruiting a guy and then he flips to Florida at the last second and it's just like shattered remote on the ground.
Yeah, that's so funny. Some of these videos of these dudes are cracking me up, dude, when they got their headset on and they're like got their coaching clipboard and they're talking about doing their in-home visits and like it's actually real and it's funny, dude. It's funny.
The ones that kill me are the ones where it's like the POV and he's playing middle linebacker or something. I think it's probably Road to Glory. And he's like making the sounds of the pads hitting each other and just playing like mic'd up, like talking shit to the other guys. It's hilarious.
Yeah, dude, that's so funny. So funny. I don't know if I could play defense. I think it's like it'd be too hard to get your guy to be like really good. And I just don't know if I would get the satisfaction of playing defense. I feel like I got to be like a quarterback.
He was when I was watching him play, he was legit making reads.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, I can't do that when I'm looking at it in the big, where you can see the whole field view. So I wouldn't even think about being a defensive player. I'm playing running back or quarterback.
Yeah, for sure. I think those two definitely are the way to go. I think quarterback because you get like the most control over the game. Now, given like when you throw it and stuff like that, you don't get to control the receiver, but you at least get to pick who you're going to throw it to and scramble if you want to and stuff like that. At least you'll touch the ball at least once a play.
You being
Um,
a control freak, it makes sense for you to want to be a quarterback.
yeah, uh, yeah. I think that's good thing about me and a bad thing about me.
Good times.
All right, dog. Well, before we get into our next segment, let's pause for a quick commercial break. No commercial break today because Tyler and I are lacking creativity. All right, fellas, back at it. And we'll jump into basketball. So, hot topic, USA basketball getting ready for Olympics. Olympics start for them July 28th. They had a close call versus South Sudan over the weekend. They ended up winning 101 to 100, but USA was like a 48-point favorite. So obviously, if you took that, I'm sorry. But Braun did hit a game-winning layup. They survived the close call, but they really should have beat the shit out of South Sudan.
Yeah, it. Yeah, they should have. I mean, really, no way around that one.
Yeah, does that scare you for them moving forward?
No.
No, you don't think so. You think it was just kind of like a lazy game?
Yeah, I'm not scared until I need to be scared.
Yeah, I mean, they
'Cause-
didn't lose. A win is a win.
yeah, and they did have an NBA guy on that team, Wenyan Gabriel.
Correct. A NBA guy.
There,
A NBA guy. He plays for the Bulls, didn't or he did?
yeah, and he was on the Lakers a year. I actually like Wenyan Gabriel. He played at Kentucky. He's really a hustle guy. Good guy to have on your team if you need like 15 minutes. But the Lakers were playing him 35 minutes a game, which is why we sucked. We had
Correct.
nobody.
Correct. But, I guess I'm not necessarily scared either. They did pull out the win. They got the buckets, what mattered. They ended up coming back on like a pretty significant run there than like the third and fourth quarter. LeBron played awesome. That was really cool to watch. And then they made shots when they needed to make shots. I think Steve Kerr actually pulled the starters at one point and was like, "You guys aren't playing defense, blah blah blah." So that's cool to see of him. Being able to take those superstars and just be like, "You guys aren't cutting it right now. Let's put the bench in the game," even though the bench are also superstars.
And Kevin Durant didn't play.
Yeah, right. But that team is so good, they don't necessarily need Kevin Durant.
Yeah, really the only person that had a good game was Braun, and Joel Embiid played pretty good.
Yeah. They do have a game Monday. It's like their last exhibition game at 3 p.m. Eastern time versus Germany. Germany's ranked number 3 in the world. So this will be definitely a good test.
They have, if I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna look up their roster real quick. I think they have a lot of NBA guys.
Germany, I know they have Schroeder. Um, I'm drawing a blank on the two brothers that I think play on their team.
Franz and Mo Wagner probably.
Yeah, I think they're both on the team. But they do have a pretty hefty amount of NBA guys on their roster. And I think they actually won the year that Ant was playing by himself. It wasn't the Olympics, but it was like I can't remember what they call it. Um, say what?
Was it FIBA?
Yeah, it was. I think it was last year when Ant was basically like the guy on the team. Now, given they had other guys, but I think Germany ended up upsetting them and they won.
They also have Daniel Tice on their team.
Yep. So I mean, and those people probably play decent together because I'd say that roster has probably played together for a decent amount of years.
Isaac Bonga, Oscar da Silva. They got hoopers on their team. We should beat them by fucking 50, but you know how that should go.
You know how that should go. Um, but yeah, so then also Lakers Summer League. So Bronny and Dalton Connect is really the two players that I care about. I know some people could care less, but they've been playing good the last 2 games. I think they actually got pulled for the rest of the Summer League because it's pretty insignificant at this point. They're not going to win the Summer League championship, but um, they played Wednesday and Thursday. Bronny Wednesday was 5 for 11, 2 for 5 from three. He had 12 points, 1 rebound, 1 steal. And then Thursday he was 5 for 10, 1 for 3 from 3-point land, 13 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 blocks. And then Dalton Connect was 7 for 16 with 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist. So they're starting to figure it out. Bronny played good. He was pretty efficient. Seems like he's finding the flow of the game a bit. I know we were kind of talking shit on him, but on the last episode, but rightfully so. I mean, he was playing bad.
Yeah, and people need to not put so much stock in the summer league. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, like in reality, it's not a very good representation of what his career is going to be. It's, his what 4th actual game against NBA talent. And it's not even a real team. It's just kind of a team that was made up for players that are looking to get their shot.
I'm gonna give you a hot take right now on Bronny. He will make the G League All-Star game.
I like that take. I mean, I hope so. That'll be cool. I hope he gets a decent amount of run with the actual team. I know he's not going to play like big minutes or anything, but I'd like to see him get pulled up every now and then during the regular season and at least get a little bit of playing time against the NBA talent that he's ultimately going to be playing in.
And while we're talking about summer league, Alex Sarr had 2 games. In one game, he went 0 for 15 with 9 rebounds. And the next game, he was 1 for 6 with 11 rebounds. So obviously the kid can rebound, but he's going to take a minute for him to adjust to trying to score the ball against elite athletes because I'm sure there's not talent like this in France.
No, and I mean he's a big dude. A lot of people were comparing him out of France to Evan Mobley, the dude from the Cavs that just signed a major contract extension actually to stay with the Cavs. But I could see it a little bit. Presence on defense, good rebounder, not necessarily gonna wow you on offense, but Evan Mobley can put the ball in the basket, and so far Alex Sarr cannot. but
It
then
is
again,
observation.
it's summer league. Like it doesn't really tell us too much.
Exactly. It's almost like we should wait until they play real games before we start judging these guys.
Yeah, that is the one thing about summer league is, everybody puts so much into it, which I will say the two dudes from Kentucky, Reed Shepherd and Rob Dillingham, have been putting on shows.
Yeah, those guys are really good though.
Correct. Reed
Those guys,
Shepherd just,
those are guys who were drafted on talent, and the two guys we were just talking about, Bronny and Alex Sarr, drafted on potential.
yeah, no doubt. So they should come into the summer league and really be there. Reed Shepherd just looks like the game doesn't look too fast for him. Like he comes to play, he can kind of control the offense, he makes the right reads, he can score, he can do it all really. He looks really good.
Yeah, he's a pretty damn good athlete.
Yeah, no doubt. 100%. But even the intangibles, like just being able to make the right reads and stuff is what kind of impresses you.
I saw another guy playing who looks slow out there, but also at the same time is beating people, which is always an interesting combination. Cam Spencer looks pretty good.
He does look good. He was drafted was he even drafted?
53rd.
53rd. So that dude's just a winner, man. He's just like that UConn. Everybody on UConn is just they got that dog in them. They really do.
It's
Um,
a product of Dan Hurley.
yeah, Dan Hurley's an absolute dog as
Transferred,
well.
though,
So
didn't he? He transferred to UConn.
he did. I can't remember where he was at. I want to say it was like Loyola or something like that.
It was another small school for sure.
Yeah, and then he transferred to UConn, and he was. I mean, I don't know if they win a national championship without him.
Yeah, he was a motherfucker.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, but moving on. So we'll talk on the election just a second. Not too much about it, but it is official. Biden has dropped out of the race, and he has endorsed Kamala Harris as who he feels like should get the Democratic endorsement. I don't know if that officially means that she will get the endorsement, but I would say it's pretty much going to happen if the president drops out and says like, "Hey, this is who I want to run." Probably going to happen.
Did he? I saw something that says uh it says she is not running for Democratic nomination.
Yeah, well, that's news to me. That's just what I've seen on his official statement saying that he endorsed her. And if she doesn't run, then I don't even know who they're gonna get.
I don't fucking know. I think they should hold a little mini thing. I mean, it's not like you don't need to campaign for 2 fucking years. I always thought that was dumb. We got how many months till November? 4.
Something like that.
They could hold a fucking meeting. Boom. They discuss shit, come up with the nominee. I would just like it to be somebody who's smart, and smart people the past fucking 8 years haven't wanted to run for president.
Yeah, that's true. And I'd also like it to be somebody that's not on their deathbed.
Yeah, and Trump is now officially the oldest nominee for what is it called when you're he's the oldest nominee for president in history.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't shock me. The dude's old. I will say he doesn't show his age as much as Biden does, but he is old.
Yeah, I mean he still goes up there, he still slurs words, has issues remembering people's names. I'm not saying he was as bad as Biden before all of the Trumpies freak out, but they should get him out of there too and just have 2 fucking regular people go.
Yeah, the whole presidential race, man, I just don't get it. I think I've said this before, but like there's so many good leaders in the United States that we have. Like there's got to be there's got to be somebody that can just be like the face of our country that I don't know. I don't know, man. It's tough.
We're probably not going to solve it right here.
I'd say we're definitely not going to solve it right here. All right, but let's move on from that and jump into random questions. All right, random question number one. Start, bench, cut.
Okay.
Pancakes, waffles, French toast.
I like French toast.
Yeah.
I don't I don't want this to seem like negative French toast propaganda, but a good pancake, some butter, syrup, nothing's topping it. A close second for me is waffles with pecans, butter, syrup. So I'm starting pancakes, benching waffles, and cutting French toast.
All right, that seemed pretty easy for you. I do think pancakes are harder to screw up, so the consistency is going to be there. Because even if a pancake is ugly, it's still going to taste good.
I mean, especially if you slap some butter on that bitch and drown it in syrup, it's fucking bread, so it's gonna soak it up.
Yeah, no doubt. So for me though, I feel like there's two types of waffles. Like there's the Waffle House waffle. You know what I'm talking about, where it's like kind of thin, almost mimics a pancake a little bit, a pancake with craters. Um, and then there's like the Belgian waffles that have like the deep square, like honeycomb style. You know what I'm talking about? Something that you would make at like a hotel.
I prefer Waffle House style.
100%. I think a thinner waffle is way better than the Belgian waffle style. Um,
And I say that for a pancake too. I don't like a super fluffy pancake.
Correct. I'm with you there. I think a Waffle House waffle may be the best thing I've ever had in my whole life, but the data may be skewed a bit because of, when we go to Waffle House.
That's a good point, and it's fair. Sometimes I be fucked up in there.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10.
Yep.
But, that's my experience, and I'm basing this off my experience. So I'm going waffle from Waffle House, that style, not necessarily from Waffle House. Then I'm going French toast on my bench, and I'm
Ooh.
going to cut pancake. The only reason is because, like you said, French toast is good, but it's not an every meal kind of thing. Like every time I have breakfast, I don't want to have a piece of French toast or a couple pieces, whatever it may be. But sometimes you bring that sucker in off the bench, man, French toast hits.
Yeah, and French toast lends itself more, I think, to eating with fruit.
Correct.
Little bit of syrup, maybe some strawberries, blueberries around it. It's a different type of a meal.
I agree. I think it's more of like a special occasion.
Yeah. I can
Yeah.
I can get down with that.
So that's what I'm going. I'm going waffle, French toast on the bench, and then I'm going to cut pancake. But I could easily swap waffle and pancake, I think, but one of them has to go.
Okay. Since we were talking about the presidential election, who you got to build out your cabinet. All right, with our friend group. And you can pick whoever you want. You don't have to include yourself. You can if you want to. I'm going to need president, vice president, treasurer, Department of Transportation, Department of Education.
Okay, I'm going to be president. I don't think that's I don't think that's up for debate. But that's my that's my pick. Um, I'm probably gonna put I'm probably gonna put Drew as VP because I think he's pretty steady, and give me some good advice. I can't put Drew as Department of Education because I don't want him to have that J. Rue, South Carolina education that he may have come up on.
They're gonna
Um,
they're gonna be preaching the South one in that school system.
yeah, and then so I need treasurer. Department of Education and Department of Transportation.
Yeah, and you could give yourself a general. You know, I mean, obviously the
Joint Chiefs of Staff.
president is
Um,
commander in chief, but
yeah, I think Department of Transportation has to go with you and Mike. I think I'm gonna dual cabinet you guys there. I'm gonna have him focus more on the logistics side, and then you focus more on the actual transit of material side.
okay, I can get down with it.
I think I'll make West Department of Education, and I think I'll make Corey treasurer.
Okay, I'll run you through mine real quick. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Corey president, and then I'm gonna do also Drew as VP because I think he'll be able to talk some people off the ledge.
I agree.
I'm gonna put you as treasurer, and we will never be in a deficit because we got shit at home.
Yeah, I mean people will starve.
I don't care about them. They're starving now. I'm gonna do Mike as my joint chiefs of staff because he'll always have his finger on the button. People won't fuck with us. Wes will also be my Department of Education. And then I'm also going to put myself in Department of Transportation.
I like it. If with Wes as the Department of Education, there will be nothing but leather-bound books.
Yes. And he will preach the gospel of LeBron as the GOAT. So we
That
won't have
is
to worry about this pro Jordan propaganda currently being spread to the children who never watched him play.
That's true. I like it. I honestly would take that over any presidency that we have.
Shit would get done, buddy. Shit would get done.
I mean, if it doesn't, it'd just be like you know, the last few.
We're not going to fuck it up any worse than it's already being fucked up.
True. True.
And that'd be a good mix of liberals and conservatives.
Yeah, I agree. I think we'd have a nice little mix right there. We would go to war because Mike would probably nuke someone.
There'd be nobody left.
Yeah, that's true. We wouldn't have to compete against anybody.
Yeah,
That is a philosophy, just kill everybody so all the resources in the world come to us.
I like it.
I like it as well. All right. If you could be any age for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oof. I want to say 25.
I was thinking 25 is a solid age. I had fun at 25.
I had fun at 25. I'm not necessarily even thinking me at 25, just in general. You're an adult, so people will respect you some. I mean, obviously, you're not going to get the respect of a 40-year-old or whatever, but you're an adult. There's nothing you can't do. Like you can rent a car, you can drink, get into events. And you're still young enough where your body feels good.
Yeah, 25 is a good age. I was bouncing this idea around a little bit. And I don't want to feel like my best years are behind me, so I'm going to take 30 because it would just be really somber to pick or to pick an age to where like I don't have it to look forward to anymore. So I'm going to take 30 and I think 30 is good because you're a whole ass adult. You have adult money, you have, all the experience that you have while also you can still do everything that you want to do. You're not like old to the point where you can't go play pickup basketball on the weekends or you can't go get shit faced at 9 a.m. with the boys. Like you're still young enough to do that stuff. But also like you're old enough to do all the other things. you're old enough to be respected in your professional, field, whatever that may be. So I think 30, and I'm taking that because I'm hoping 30 is going to be a good age.
Yeah, I fucking hope so.
We're getting there, man.
You're getting there. You're 29.
I mean, you're about to be.
I'm not though.
That's true.
I'd also like to make a adjustment to my cabinet. I'm gonna add Kevin as my Secretary of Homeland Security.
I like that. I think you would be good in that position.
You know, we just need
Him and Mike working together. I think he would talk Mike off the ledge a couple times.
yeah. And somebody's gotta have Mike on a leash. You know?
That's true. I think they'd be a good team.
All right.
Maybe we'll do an actual a vote when we go to the mountains.
Everybody vote, yeah.
Everybody vote for the people. We'll give an actual campaign speech.
I'll do a whole fucking PowerPoint and present it. Okay. Start bench cut.
All right.
I don't know if we've done this one before, but Mexican food, Italian food, and American food.
Okay. What constitutes American food?
You know, burgers, like cookout type food.
All right. Easy. Mexican food, American food, cut and Italian food because so I could eat like Mexican cuisine. Good God.
Mexican cuisine.
Sheesh.
You are on fire today. It's
Yeah.
your vocabulary is tolling right now.
It's taking a toll. But I could eat Mexican cuisine every day, 100%. I love that style because you can switch it. You can do quesadillas, you can do burritos, you can do like a bowl, do all that stuff. Um, I'm gonna bench my American food because I feel like that's not an everyday thing. Like I do love a good burger, but I don't want one every day. That's typically like a weekend thing. I think we'll take like steak and potatoes as American food as well.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I think that's fair, and that's just like a special occasion weekend food for me. So I'm definitely gonna take that as my bench, and then I like Italian food. I don't want to never have it again, but in with those two options, I'm gonna cut it.
It's my pick. I have a general idea of this in my mind, but I have a question about a certain type of food where I don't know. I know it's not Mexican food, but I don't know if this will fall under American or Italian. Is pizza.
Um, I think you're gonna have to give it to. I don't know. That's tough because the pizza that we eat really isn't the same as like Italian pizza. I don't think.
Yeah, Italian pizza is lighter. There's less cheese. Um,
So it depends on the type. Like,
yeah.
you're gonna if you thinking like Domino's style, or you thinking like an Italian style.
When I'm thinking pizza, I promise you, I'm never thinking about Domino's. Not that I
Well,
don't like
right.
Domino's, but that's like in my head, it's not that.
All right, okay. Well, I'm just thinking like a lot of cheese, stuff like that.
Um,
I know you are the cheese man.
cheese man. Um, I'm gonna. This is tough for me. Ooh, I'm gonna start Mexican food also. I'm gonna bench Italian food, and I'm gonna cut American food mainly because I don't eat beef anymore.
Well, why don't you just take your ass to another fucking country?
You're not welcome at my burger house anyhow.
Yeah, you're
That's,
what's wrong with this country for sure.
can you hear my laptop getting text messages?
I heard a ding, yeah.
Oh, it's fucking annoying.
I thought it was your smoke alarm. I thought you were one of those people that haven't replaced your smoke alarm battery, and it was just beep, beep.
Uh, there's a reason why my smoke alarm batteries don't do that, and it's right here.
Ay,
You
ay, ay.
you know
AW.
what
AW.
I'm catch my drift.
I'm catching. I'm picking up what you're putting down. But all right, so moving on, pet peeves. I have a couple. I'll start with mine. If you have some, you can go into it. I went to go play pickup today, and I get there a little early. I always do because I like to go shoot around. It's kind of like what I honestly enjoy shooting around more than I do playing pickup. So I get there early to shoot around, have my little space. There's like four people in the gym, and we have one of those gyms, kind of like UNCW setup, where there's like three courts. So there's plenty of goals to shoot on. But the gym is out of basketballs. So there's only four basketballs in the whole gym, and those four people have them. And I went up and I was like, "Hey, like, how do you guys only have four basketballs? Like, what's the deal? Why would you only have four?" And they're like, "People keep walking out with them. They're stealing our basketballs," which like I get it, that happens, but like order some more. So like I absolutely was so annoyed because I got there early. People don't really start showing up to like 11:30 to play pickup. I got there at 10:30 and I just had to sit there because I'm not going to go interrupt the guy that's kind of doing his shoot around thing. Like, "Hey man, can I shoot with you?" Because I wouldn't want him to do that to me. So I just sit there and wait for people to show up. And it was so annoying.
Yeah, that is pretty annoying. I've seen now where gyms have started to get your ID, and if you don't return the ball,
You don't get your ID back. Makes sense. For us, we just sign it out on a little roster. You put a fake name and a fake phone number, and then you can just walk out.
yeah, that's pretty annoying.
Super frustrating. I have another pet peeve. If do you have one?
I have one, but you can go ahead.
All right. So same thing today. I was going to shoot around, couldn't shoot around, so I went upstairs and just like walked on the treadmill because I was like, I'll get loose somehow. Just walk on the treadmill for a bit until people start showing up. And I get up there, and there's people up there. They're finishing their workout with a little treadmill. Cool, do your thing. But like, they have the treadmill on like the highest incline, which is like cool. Walk up a hill, burn some more calories. But then they're holding on to the handle of the treadmill. And I'm like, does that not defeat the purpose? Because now you're holding on to the handle and you're taking away the resistance of the incline, and it's just like walking on flat ground.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I've seen a lot of people do that with stair steps.
Yeah, I think stair stepper, like, I think it's still hard if you're holding onto the handle. But like the treadmill specifically, like you hold on to the handle and you lean way back. So it's just like walking on flat ground.
Yeah, people are dumb.
Yeah, people are dumb and it drives me crazy.
This is a good segue into my pet peeve when I'm hearing people talk about sports and they're speaking about it loud so I can hear everything they're saying and they're just fucking wrong about everything.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
It really takes me it's a good practice for my self-control by not speaking to them.
Yeah, I usually just let them have it. I don't get too involved in those conversations because I don't feel like going through the argument because some people will die on their ledge about their topic they're talking about with sports. That happens a lot about fantasy, like fantasy football.
Yeah, fantasy football is interesting because you have a strategy. You would think people have a strategy. So I don't get into that too much, but people who make terrible trades and stick by their terrible trade even when it hasn't panned out, Tingo. Um, those people annoy me.
Yeah, I hate when I'm talking to somebody and they're like, "Yeah, I'm in another league with another group of people and I've won that league 7 years in a row." I'm like, "Really, dude? Have you?"
Yeah. Here's another thing Tingo did that pissed me off. He claimed that he has a 3-year hit streak going, right? Where he's gotten a hit in every game, at least one hit. So we were hanging out yesterday and I said something to him. I said, "Didn't you go 0 for 3 like 4 games ago?" And he said, "I went 0 for 2, but we got run ruled, so I don't count that." What?
That's not how it works, pal.
It doesn't make any sense. You think I want to be telling people that I batted 130 for the year? No, but I'm true to the stats.
True to him. I mean, look, if you're going to have a hit streak, you got to produce. If you're not producing, you can't claim that you have a hit streak.
That's what I'm saying.
Or you can preface it saying, like, in every game that we haven't been run ruled, I have a hit streak in 3 years. And it's like, okay, there's an asterisk by that. But if you want to say that, then it is true, I guess.
It's just, it's craziness. And he said he thinks he bat over 500 this year. And it's probably close, but you can't trust the guy. You can't trust him. You just can't trust him.
Can't trust them. That's
Good
funny.
friend, great guy, pathological liar.
Yeah, I'd say that. Um, all right, so closing comments. Um, I do want to try something real quick, and it's for a potential segment.
Can I guess it?
You can guess what the potential segment is, yeah.
Actually, what? No, I'm not going to even say. I can't even say what I was thinking about saying. Just scratch that. Don't even worry about what I was going to say.
Okay, sick, dude. Um, all right, so I want us to both think of a word, and then I want us to say it at the same time. The reason I don't know if it's gonna work is because it might be like spotty, and we might not be able to hear what each other say. So I just want to
Okay.
try it. I just want to try it out, and then this way, when we're listening to the podcast, we can actually see if it worked. So on three, we're gonna both say a word.
Okay.
All right.
But and then we're gonna go 1, 2, 3 again, and we're gonna try and use what the other person said. Try and get to a similar word.
Correct. That is how the segment would go, but I don't know if the audio will pick up, and it might just sound like us talking over each other.
Okay.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
All right. Counting from 3, 2, 1. So 3, 2, 1, and then we'll say it. All right.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Beach. Yeah, I think it's gonna cut out. What'd you
What'd you
say?
say? I said fish.
I said beach.
Oh, we're pretty close.
So I think we would probably be able to walk that in somehow. Um, but let's just see how it listens, and then we'll decide if we're gonna do that on the next one. Um, but as far as the half marathon, is that what you want to do? You want to lock it in?
Yeah, I also think we should do, I think we should challenge ourselves to do another sport that we don't usually play.
Okay. Any ideas?
I could see myself joining a league. So for you, I mean, you could do a tennis league. Obviously, you've played tennis, but you've never played in a league. You
Correct.
just something like that. The thoughts I had were I could maybe do flag football or like a cornhole league. I've played a lot of cornhole though. Also, I would suck compared to people who really play cornhole.
Correct. You would
Also,
suck compared to.
thought about. Yeah, well, I did win the cornhole championship this 4th of July, but that's neither here nor there. Um, Also, potentially one which this could be fun for both of us. We commit right here, you and I, to doing one amateur fight. It could be an amateur MMA fight, an amateur boxing match, an amateur wrestling tournament, amateur BJJ, whatever.
Yeah, I mean
I
that would be cool. I just don't even know how we go about that.
I know guys who do that stuff. A guy I work with does that. I would commit right here to within 1 year from today doing one fight if you commit to the same thing.
I'd commit to it. I'd try to do it. I think it would be cool to get in the gym and do some sort of like, Brazilian jiu-jitsu or something like that. I think it would be cool to learn that skill. So fuck it, why not?
It did now. We don't have to do the same.
Correct. Yeah.
If it was me, I would probably do boxing.
Yeah.
If it was me, I'm not committing 100% to boxing, but I'm in my head. I think that's what I would do.
All right, we can do that and we can explore kind of some avenues, but I think a year is doable.
I'd commit right now. Only one, and we have to film it.
Okay, that's fair. Could the amateur event be us fighting each other?
That wouldn't be any fun. Me just beating the shit out of you.
Okay, all right, all right.
I'd commit. I'll commit right here, 1 year from today. So you have the whole year to do it. I mean, if I wanted to enter a tournament tomorrow, I
Right.
could do it.
Yeah.
July 21st, 2025, we will both have filmed and competed in an amateur fight of some kind.
All right, I like it. I will say though, if me and you did a boxing match and it was an amateur boxing match, that means there would be refs.
You'd outpoint me.
I would win.
You'd outpoint me because you'd run around and be afraid of the absolute power I possess in these hands.
AKA win.
Listen, if you want to win like that by playing the point system and being a punk ass bitch, that's your business. I'm here to knock people. I starch people, bro.
How many people have you starched in your whole life?
It next to zero.
Yeah. All right. So we'll end on that. But we'll be back hopefully for a nice midweeker. So y'all have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.